All right. Well, thank you, Nick, for leading us in with our Hawaiian music for today. So today, our Spirit Day is what, Hawaiian Shirt Day. So if you haven't posted, I know Anna is going to lead that in our Spirit Wear or our Spirit Week thing on GroupMe. So you can post your pictures in that. I have my lovely little headpiece on. That is not from Hawaii. I bought that in off an island in Australia. So that was kind of fun. That's my little fact of the day. But I wanted to say thank you for all of your hard work. You guys have been really crunching through a ton of essential work tasks in the building rounds, as well as our virtual work. So I'm really excited to see a lot of that work coming in. I hope that you guys are feeling supported from the staff and letting us know if you need anything. Your supervisors are there, I'm there, Katie's there, all of us are here for you to support you. So today's meeting is led by Jessica and Mike, so I will turn it over to them, but I just wanted to say a hello from my house in Hawaii today, and I will turn it over to Jessica and Mike.
Thanks.
Thanks. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Okay, so we're going to spend a little bit of time, Mike and I, about talking about fact-finding and finances when it comes to the coronavirus. We've talked a lot about it. You guys have heard a lot about it. We wanted to share some resources that we feel are a little more real than some of the things we're seeing on social media and in the news. So let me just send this. I'll go to the next one. Next slide. Andrea already said hello, and we already went through that, so we'll go there. And so we wanted to first give you some reliable information and where we suggest you look for anything about the coronavirus. Of course, wayne.edu/coronavirus is a good one. And just so you guys know, we are going to share this PowerPoint, so you don't have to try to write everything down right now. Again, this is all for the local resources. So wayne.edu/coronavirus, they're doing a really good job of keeping that up to date and sharing things that are happening on campus and around campus about that. Also, michigan.gov/coronavirus. Detroit, Michigan also has another website, the Detroit Health Department. And when it comes to national resources, there's two really good resources. There's the CDC, which has an official site, and there's also the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, which has an official site about it. So I know that most of you, if not all of you, have written a research paper in your time. So I'm not going to go into too many things about how to look for reliable websites and what you should be looking at. But really, things that are shared on social media are not always correct. And I'll give you a really good example of that. So they were sharing that they were turning people away at the Michigan border. So you couldn't travel into the state of Michigan if you didn't have a Michigan driver's license. And so people were sharing it. It was going out there on Facebook. And I have family that lives south, like in the southern part of Michigan, who actually work in Toledo. And so they were nervous, and they're like, well, what do I do? What do I do? And so we looked into it, and I'm like, guys, this isn't real. This is just someone sharing information that's not correct. So if you're hearing something that you think isn't true, we encourage you to reach out to one of the resources that is a legitimate resource and trying to do some research on your own instead of just following social media posts.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. So we wanted to touch on, obviously, like Jess said, you've heard a lot of things about everything going on with coronavirus and in the news and everything. And one of the major things that's in the news right now is obviously the economic impact of coronavirus and how that might affect you. And then moving down the road, kind of some helpful hints and some resources for you as we go down the road. So just economic impacts of coronavirus nationally. In the last 2 weeks, there have been 10 million job loss claims, 6.5 million last week, a little less than 3.5 million the week before. So that's a number that's only going to grow. We're definitely not at the peak of that number by any stretch. GDP could decline by 30% in the second quarter, which, when you look at history, the worst quarter on record going back to 1945. This would be the worst quarter on record going back to 1945. And just going to give you a comparison, during the 2008 financial crisis, the worst quarter during that was only an 8.4% decline. So there's a lot of talk. You could get higher than 30%, anywhere to 30 to 40%, which is absolutely crazy. So again, the economy is going to be shrinking, and it's going to impact a lot of things. So, and then there are estimates. So going back to kind of the job loss claims, there are estimates of 47 million people could lose their jobs, which would be 32% of the workforce, higher than the Great Depression. Currently, we're nearing 10%. We might be a little more, although those true numbers are probably going to be higher than that. So again, it's only going to grow. We're in the thick of it now, but we're definitely not at the worst of it at this point. So, and then locally, efforting.
Sorry, guys. It gets a little crazy. We'll go backwards.
Efforting. And we're done. So thanks for, okay. So locally, Michigan has been one of the hardest hit with job loss claims. The top five, when you adjust for state size and workforce, the top five are Hawaii, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Rhode Island. California is going to have, you look at just the raw numbers, California is going to have over double the claims Michigan has, but obviously California is a much bigger state than Michigan is. So again, when adjusted for state size and workforce, Michigan is in the top five of states that are getting hit the hardest. So clearly it's impacting all of us right now, and it could continue to impact us moving forward. The service sector is the one, there are a lot of things being hit, but the service sector is being hit the hardest, as we all know: food, retail, hospitality, and as a result, younger, lower income earners are often make up the bulk of this workforce. So it is hitting you as students. It's hitting your friends. I didn't put it in the spreadsheet because it was information from Europe, but I saw an article that was about 12% of 20 to 30-year-olds are claiming, job loss, while only 6% of 40 to 55-year-olds are claiming job loss. So it definitely hits the younger and lower income brackets, which of course is going to be a lot of you. So moving on, some industries that are still doing well. So large tech, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook. Telecommunication is certainly still doing well. Clearly, we're all here. Online learning, digital entertainment streaming, healthcare tech, healthcare supply certainly are in demand right now. We all know essential businesses that are staying open, so groceries, delivery services, pharmaceuticals, cleaning, sanitation. When this all started, we heard the news of people bulking up on hand sanitizer and selling it way above price, so price gouging for that stuff. So that's certainly a big industry right now. And manufacturing, we've seen some of the big companies who are now transitioning over to making ventilators. So while some manufacturing is kind of stagnant right now, those that can change what they're doing and adapt and help out in our current situation are still going to be still doing okay. So other jobs that aren't going to come back. So I hate to say it, but the restaurant industry is going to be probably the biggest long-term impact from this. There are going to be a lot of restaurants that don't open. It's such a low margin business, and you need so much volume to kind of make it work. And so many restaurants don't even last 2 or 3 years to begin with, when things are going well. So there's going to be a lot of restaurants that don't even open back up. And then transportation. So the growth in telecommunication, we're experiencing this right now. Gas, the price of oil is so cheap right now because no one needs it. We're not using it. No one's filling up their cars going anywhere. Associated industry with that. I think, it's just my opinion, but I think we're going to find that a lot of industries are going to realize how efficient and how well people work from home. So I think the work from home kind of workforce is going to grow a little bit, which is going to impact the transportation industry as well. So there are 3 kind of expected timelines for the economic recovery, and now we're sort of getting into what we want to get across for this presentation. But the most optimistic is a May reboot, which would leave most industries relatively unscathed. This assumes cases peak, here in the next week or two, which who knows if that's going to be the case. The second scenario is a July restart. This is when you hear talking about like a soft V or like a V-shaped recovery. That's going to be the July restart. So the economy is going to take a sharp downturn until then. And then when summer hits, things will kind of ramp back up again. that assumes cases are going to peak in May. Again, who knows? And then the final scenario is a fall recovery. By no means am I'm not a doctor, I just play it on TV, but if I had to guess, I would say, fall recovery might be the more realistic option. This is what we're trying with flattening the curve and the extreme social distancing. It would lead to the fewest fatalities and certainly, the fewest cases. But because this is the long-term plan, this is also the scenario that's going to be hardest on the economy. So, September at best, that industries kind of start picking up again. So, long story short, it could be several months before, things are kind of getting back to normal. Income's kind of getting more steady again. So planning is going to be essential for you, for me, for all of us. Which brings us into budgeting 101. So this is kind of what we wanted to talk about. So what is a budget? A budget is a roadmap where your money will go so you can make your hard-earned income work for you. Budgets assign a specific job for your money, and they establish spending limits and spending expenditures, or for specific expenditures so you can use your money responsibly. So steps to creating a budget. First, you want to determine the why. I think, right now we all kind of know the why, but, people, you should have a budget anyway. Only about a third, it's not in here, but it's something I also read, only about a third of people actually do budget. So, they're the ones that are taking more care of their money. So, but nonetheless, determine the why. Psychology plays a big role. The more invested you are, the more likely you're going to succeed. It's like that with anything, not just budgeting. Obviously, your mental power, your willpower. The more you're invested in it, the more likely you are to stick by your budget. Step 2, do a deep dive into your spending habits. Right now, we might not have many. We're not spending a whole lot of money, so that can be good. But it's also we're not bringing in a whole lot of money necessarily either. So do a real deep dive into your spending habits, spreadsheets, apps. Use your statements. With so few cash transactions these days, it's pretty easy to find every single transaction you make over any given period of time. And then also understand and plan for your regular expenses. So birthdays, holidays, those are going to happen, and they're not necessarily a regular month-to-month expense, but it's going to happen at some point. So make sure you're factoring those into your spending habits as well. Step 3, add up all your income. Pretty self-explanatory. Step 4, so determine your goals. Be specific with how much you want to save, what you want to save for, and kind of the timeline you're giving yourself to reach that goal. Again, the more specific and the more, going back to determining the why, the more you invest in this, the more specific you are, and the more you lay out your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. Determine what you need to save. So kind of step 4 in a nutshell again. And then step 6, choose your tool to make your budget. So there are a lot of different options for that. And then Jess will take it from here.
Thanks, Mike. So there's a lot of examples for budgets, and I don't know about you guys. I love spreadsheets. I don't think you guys do, but that's okay. Here's a very simple breakdown of a monthly budget. So the steps that Mike talked about are knowing all of your income. Your income could look different than just what you get from your paycheck at Wayne State. You could have a second job or something, or some other source of income that comes in. But really, you have to, take a look at your fixed expenses, and those are the things that typically don't change month to month. So that's your rent, your cell phone bill, car insurance, things like that. And then you have your flexible expenses. Those are those things that Mike might have mentioned as your regular expenses, but also include things like groceries, you're eating out. I don't think a lot of people are doing that right now. Gas, entertainment, clothing, things like that. So this is just a simple breakdown. There's a lot of apps out there that have a prettier interface that talk about that. Mint's one of them, Wally's another that talks about your spending habits, things like that. But this is just a breakdown of a very simple budget. I'm going to move to the next slide. And we're going to talk a little bit more about budget here in a second. But some resources for when you're doing your budget. The financial aid website at Wayne State talks a lot about how to plan for your, to budget for your education. So there's some really good resources on there that talk through how to plan how many credits you're taking, what that expense looks like, things like that. The Student Financial Aid website has a really good, some budgeting tips on there. And then Affordable Colleges Online and Consumer Reports all have really good things that are specific to college students. Because if you just Google budgets, you're going to find a lot of things about like, how do you pay your mortgage? I don't think many of you have mortgages to worry about right now, and planning for household repairs and things like that. So you really want to look specifically for college students. But here's kind of the meat and potatoes of that. Tips to sticking to this budget. Like Mike talked about, this the pandemic that's happening right now, best case scenario, probably next month, we're looking at some relief and everything can go back to somewhat of a normal. But it could go longer term. So things you need to think about right now is keep track of your spending. It's really tempting right now, and I know I'm speaking from experience, to say, oh, I'm not spending money on gas, so maybe I can buy those clothes I wanted online or something like that that you can have shipped to your house that doesn't require you to break the law and go out and get. So keeping track of your spending, especially right now, is great. There's, like I said earlier, Mint and Wally are really good examples of that. If you have to go old school and write it down, whatever you need to do to keep track of that using a spreadsheet, making sure you're saying no when it's necessary. So impulse purchasing or peer pressure. I have some friends, or they're a little bit different now, they're homeowners, but I had friends before, they're like, oh, you can go out again, it's not a big deal, you know, it only costs like 50 bucks. 50 bucks adds up. So making sure we know when to say no, and not succumbing to some of that peer pressure. And then looking at your flexible expenses. So can you reduce those? Do you really need to spend $45 on clothing a month? How can you reduce those things now or eliminate those things to help you save and spend money more where it's necessary? Are there any questions real quick in the chat or even?
So can I just say something too real quick, Jess, is financial aid right now, for those of you who are eligible for domestic financial aid and grants and scholarships, all of you are, I guess, eligible for grants and scholarships, but loans. The financial aid office is definitely looking at people's financial situations that have changed. So they have the ability, if, for example, your parents have lost their jobs or something has substantially changed in the financial makeup of your, I guess, your FAFSA form, they can work with you to reevaluate what aid you would be available for. So if you feel like you're in that situation, please reach out to the service center. They're working virtually. They have the quickest turnaround times right now, I think, that I've seen in a long time, because they're all at home working virtually, so they can help you. There is emergency loan money available if you need that, if something's happening where you're living with a boyfriend, girlfriend, and they've lost their job and the money isn't coming in to pay the rent, and your student center job isn't hacking it. Those are some of the things that you can work with financial aid on. They do have some emergency resources available. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that.
Thanks, Andrea. And we want to also point out kind of the obvious. We've shared with you before that we are people who are working from home right now, virtual. We're working with you and for sure for the winter semester. So we're not trying to share this and saying, oh, you're going to need it because tomorrow. No, none of that. This is something, it's out of our control what's happening in the world as far as this pandemic. So I like Mike's best case scenario of next month. It'd be great to be able to do more things next month, but we are all, hopefully taking a good look at budgets and making sure that we're preparing for the future. So just as a reminder, the winter semester, you're working right now, anyone who's choosing to work virtually, we are not changing that for the winter semester. So just something to keep in mind. I haven't heard any questions that have come through or seen any. So we're going to move on if that's good with everyone. You can always email or send us messages or questions if you have some in the future. So now for the fun stuff. See, we put everything that's like the big stuff at the beginning so people pay attention, so we get ready for this. So we're going to do the cribs, the Student Center edition. I have Mike listed first. Mike, are you ready?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can if that's the way we want to do it.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out I switched to my phone here.
Okay. I'm going to change stopping my share. Okay, it's all you when you're ready.
Okay, let's see here. Share. Can people hear me?
Yeah, Mike, you shouldn't need to share.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
can
All
just
right.
put you on spotlight video.
There we go. Can you see me now? Can you see the stuff now?
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry about that. So here's my front door. We'll pretend we're walking in like cribs. So here's my front door. There's a Subi sitting out in the driveway. You walk in. Here is our living room. I'm getting out of the way of the lamp. But here's a new couch that we just got. We were able to get it just before kind of the quarantine hit. So we spent quite a bit of time on it, and we're very lucky to have it. Here is Sweet Angel, if anybody. He's the real star of the show. But here's the rig. So we got cribs going on. This is where I like to beat Yakub in FIFA, sometimes with 10 men. So make sure you let him know about that. I also practice my my putting game here on the carpet. So nice, a real true roll there. We'll head down the hallway here. It's a little dark, sorry. Laundry room, first floor laundry, always a plus. Bathroom, pretty self-explanatory. This is one of the few rooms we didn't actually touch when we moved in. We'll move into the bedrooms, so we'll go here. So guest bedroom first. This room was completely pink, so it had pink ceiling, pink walls. Everything was it was pink. It was mind-numbingly pink, and there was a bunk bed that a kid had drawn all over and attached to the wall. So we did quite a bit of work in here. One of my shoe closets. That's VIP area there. This is our bedroom. Again, pretty standard bedroom. I wish it wasn't so dark out because it'd look a lot nicer. But anyway, we're going back down the hallway. This is the apple in my eye. This is Bethany, my girlfriend. She actually works from home quite a bit anyway. So we took this bedroom and turned it kind of into her office. She's on the phone right now with a call, so I will get off that. It is actually her birthday today, so she is turning, I think, 22. So it's pretty great. This is the kitchen. Not a whole lot here. This is kind of our next big project that we want to work on. Not a whole lot you can do in here, but get some new countertops, get some new appliances. That's the plan for there. We head over here. This is the room we affectionately call the lodge because it's got the beams, it's got the fireplace. Don't mind the dresser as a TV stand. That was one of the many things the previous owner left us. We threw a lot of stuff away, put it out on the curb, but we don't have a TV stand out here, so it works for that. But we repainted this. This was kind of like a custard colored wall and ceiling, so it was pretty nasty. But we call it the lodge, A, because it feels kind of lodgy, but B, when we were repainting the whole house, we had the living room, we had the family room, and we didn't want to get confused as to what color was going to be what. So on all our paint cans, we made this room the lodge. So out here, I really wish it wasn't raining because you can see the backyard, but we got the grill, we got deck, patio, all that stuff. The keen observer will see a treehouse up there. I already hang out with my boys up there. It's boys only, no girls allowed. So sorry. We have a lot of work to do back here. We haven't been in the house for more than four months or so. So there's still quite a bit of yard work we haven't had a chance to do yet, which we're really excited to do. We're really looking forward to the green over there on the fence coming in, the foliage coming in, because the neighbor's abomination of a yard is an eyesore, so we don't really like that very much. But then there's a shed. Somebody wants to come outside. He talks a big game, wants to come outside, but when he gets outside, he gets really scared. So he doesn't know what's good for him. Heading through the kitchen, we're gonna head downstairs. Golf clubs, guitar. Nick, you're better than me, don't worry. I'm a drummer by trade, but I do dabble in some other stuff. The king's throne is down here. We have downstairs bathroom. Not much I want to show in here, but when we bought the house, it came with this awesome fish, toilet paper roll holder. So why would we get rid of that? And there's also fish, kind of, I can't, my shadow's in the way, but fish wall plates. So again, why would we get rid of those? But so the basement here, it's not huge. We do have a nice storage and, you know, all utilities and behind that door. So there's a lot of storage space down here, but the basement itself isn't very big, but it's perfect for kind of our workout area. So Alyssa showed you what she does and what they kind of built. This is exactly what we use that for. So we've got our free weights, we've got a pull-up bar, we got a couple bikes. Anybody who knows me, I guess, knows I really like to bike. So this is during the winter, you know, in Michigan, you're looking at 6-7 months. 6-7 months is kind of hard to get out on the road. So I spend a lot of time on my trainer down here. It is a smart trainer. So you have a regular trainer here, just hook your wheel on, bike, pretty self-explanatory. This is a smart trainer. Can't really see it very well, but it communicates through Bluetooth and ANT Plus with with my computer. And there's an app over here. It's called Zwift. So I spend a lot of time down here biking. You can bike real routes. So you can go to London, you can go to Richmond, you can go to Bologna, you can go to Innsbruck in Austria, you can do Central Park in New York. So there's a lot of different worlds you can go to. Right now, this guy is we're just watching someone biking. He's in the proprietary world they have, but your trainer communicates with the app and it'll tell you your wattage, it'll tell you your RPMs, your heart rate. If this guy had a heart rate monitor, it tells you your speed, how far you've gone, how high you've climbed, your total time. Got all these people over here. The trainer will adjust. So one of the reasons it's a smart trainer, it'll adjust your resistance based on your grade if you're going up or down. So it has a 15% incline or decline, which is absolutely insane. So it's a lot of fun. So I spend a lot of time. I'm here probably six days a week. I'm down here, and then that's Beth's bike over there. So she bikes as well. But that's the basement. The only other thing, so we have a garage. All I want to do is show you. So there's a couple things. So everyone has to have a garage fridge. So there's a garage fridge, nothing but water, blah, blah, blah. The freezer, we're not going to worry about the freezer. But the only thing I want to do is I want to plug. So we have a futon here. If anybody wants a futon, it can be yours for one easy payment of $3.99. This was the couch and futon we had before we got our current couch. But if anybody wants this futon, this is not a joke. I will absolutely drop it off to you. I will take it to you. Otherwise, it's just going to get donated. But if anybody wants it, it's fine. We threw out, so the previous owner left us a lot of crap. And we threw a lot of stuff out. But the fact that we didn't throw that out, this was left from the previous owner, and the fact that we didn't throw it on the curb as soon as we got it is a testament to how, you know, it's fine. So if anybody wants it, by all means, you're more than welcome to have it. But otherwise, we'll kind of take a
head in the freezer.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kyle. You didn't see anything. But anyway, this is the outside of the house. This is the neighborhood. There's the rig. That's Beth's car. Shout out to Rachel. I know she likes Subarus. So anyway, there you go. That's the neighborhood. So, all right.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
No problem.
So we're just gonna imagine we didn't see anything in that freezer. I like that plan.
I would prefer we don't ever discuss this again.
Okay, sounds good. And Megan, are you ready?
Yes, I believe. Can you see and hear me now?
Can hear you, but I can't see you. I just see an M.
Okay.
I think it's for Mike, though. I think Mike's still in our spotlight.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking to see if I surpass Mike.
Oh, yep, now we see you.
Perfect. Okay, so this is my house. So this is when we come into the front door. This is our living room, and similar to Mike, we recently bought this house, so everything is kind of in the home renovation stage. And because of the quarantine, it's been a little difficult to get supplies. So everything is kind of half done right now. So that's my cute little rainbow window. We have a lot of little kids in our neighborhood. And so all of us decorated our windows so you can kind of see some other houses as well. So again, this is just the living room. This is kind of where I mostly hang out. This is where you'll see me come in on conference calls. So it's our dining room table usually, but now it is my home office space. This is our kitchen. This is like my pride and joy of my house. I love it so much. My mom really likes to shop for me. So all of these little things, she goes to like TJ Maxx and finds cute things for us all the time, which is really nice. We're absolutely in love with these stools. And the clock, if you've ever watched Fixer Upper, that's where I got a lot of this inspiration from. This is just our bathroom. The people before us redid this house, so we haven't had to do too much, at least in the bathroom. I'm coming right here to our fitness room. That's my fiance, Danny, doing his boxing. So like Alyssa and Mike, because of the quarantine, we had to kind of improvise our gym area. So that was a spare bedroom, and now we've made it into a home gym. And this is our backyard. So again, similar to Mike, we haven't really done anything yet with it. That is our garage, and that's a fireplace or a fire pit that we just got, and that's my car right there. And then I'm gonna lead you down to my basement. So this, the people before us used to have little kids. So this is a chalk wall so that we are able to write things on there. These are like magnetic strips. So we've like put grocery lists and cool things on there. So this is our basement. So this is my fiance's like man cave. As you can see, we have like a vending machine. So you can click one of the buttons and some like pop or beer comes down. Popcorn machine. That's our bar. Over here is like this new couch we just got. This Michigan copper plaque we got at the Plymouth Art Fair, which I'm in love with. And then here we have like this little fireplace thing. You turn it on, becomes a fire. Just because we didn't have a fireplace when we bought the house, and that's something I really wanted. Just some shelves. Collected, so that's my big buttons. That's Danny's arcade cabinet. When he proposed to me, I got a ring, and then he bought himself that as a prize. This is our ping pong table, and that's usually where we keep score, but it says Hello Student Center. And then we recently did a puzzle because we love Broadway and we're super bored right now, so we're eventually going to frame that. That's a spare bedroom, but as I said, everything's kind of like a mess right now as we're renovating. And then this is just our laundry room / storage, so see laundry. So nothing too exciting there. But yeah, that's my space.
Thanks for sharing, Megan. We appreciate it.
Megan, I just want to say, before you even said your inspiration was Fixer Upper, the first thing I thought was, this looks like a house Joanna Gaines would decorate.
Yes, it is. She's made it very easy by putting everything at Target. So
that is very true. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna one more thing here. So a couple reminders at the end. So nominating your peers, we mentioned last meeting, which was Thursday, that we have reopened up, and we'll reshare those links on GroupMe. But the end of the year awards and best of the best, those kinds of things, we want you to nominate. So we've only gotten a couple. This is the last chance to do that. So we'll reshare and GroupMe those links, but again, make sure that you nominate your peers. And then our next meeting is gonna be a week from today at 3 p.m. So 1 week from today at 3 p.m. Yakub, did you want to talk a little bit about what that meeting is going to be about?
Yeah, so basically, some of our student staff will be leading that meeting, and they are gonna be presenting about online studying and basically how to adapt and like studying from home and how to focus on online classes. They have some tips and tricks, and they will be sharing some of like basically what they're doing at home and how they're setting up their own spaces for studying, and yeah.
Thanks, Yakub. And that's all we have as far as the formal presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the group or email. Share this presentation and the recording as soon as we can. But I hope everyone's having a great week. It's early in the week, and we will talk with you soon.
Well, we'll open it up. Does anyone have any questions for any of us right now about anything? No? All right, like Jess said, we're here for you. So let us know if you need anything, and then we will see you next week. And we still want to know about the head in the freezer, Mike. All right, we're good?
Good. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Oh,
Post your Hawaiian pics.
I can, do you want to know about the head in the freezer?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Can you see? Am I in the garage? So, yeah, so Beth, when she was younger, she used to be a hairdresser. So this was like, here's the stand for it. And this is like the practice head. So, yeah, that's what it was. I can assure you there are no heads in the freezer. It is empty. Beth is alive. You saw her. So, all good.
Well, thanks for sharing, Mike.
No problem. Thanks for listening.
That's a cover up, guys. Don't believe him. He had time to clean up. You know.
I was definitely thinking the same thing.
All right, well, we'll say goodbye. Post your Hawaiian pics for Hawaiian Day and keep the Student Center spirit up this week. All right, guys? Miss you all.
Bye.